Hello everyone and welcome to Don't Be Bored. Today I'm joined by Nick Federico, the designer of a brand new game coming to Essen Spiel, Deductio. Now, first of all, welcome Nick. Please tell us a little bit about the game.
Hey, thanks for having me. My name is Nick Federico. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I created the game Deductio. It's a deduction puzzle like card game where players are given a number between 1 and 20, and you have to determine who has what number. On your turn, you choose a card that gives away information about your number, and you play it in front of you truthfully. And so over time, more and more information accumulates. And so you can help deduce who has what number. And you can also look at the rest of the numbers in the deck slowly over time, which helps narrow things down even more. It's lightweight, it's fun, it's easy for families. It also has this nice, underlying feel of tension almost, because in the beginning there's not much information to go off of. And then as the game slowly progresses, the tension builds and builds and builds until it usually comes down to like one turn where you have to guess, or else you're gonna lose. So yeah, it's great. Definitely check it out.
That sounds like a really interesting concept and idea for a game. I'm sure many will agree, but maybe not one that was as easy or straightforward to playtest as other games because of that deduction sort of element of the game. What was the most challenging part and what was the most fun part of that design process that you had to go through?
The most challenging part of the design process for me was trying to design a discard mechanic. So the way the game works is there's an open market of three cards that a player can choose from on their turn, and the cards have information and like descriptions about um, numbers. So what you're supposed to do is choose one of those cards that truthfully describes your number. So if it says it's odd and you have 17, you can choose it. But I came across the issue where if all of those options don't describe your number at all, then what do? And I don't want people to just pass because that's boring. And it would also tell everyone else that that player doesn't have a card that represents any of those descriptions, which would give it a whole lot of information. So after a lot of playtesting and coming up with different options, I decided to use a mechanic where if there's a card at any point in time in the game that doesn't describe your number, you can pick it and put it in the discard pile. So it does give out information, but anybody can do it at any time. So you don't know if that person's actually like stuck in a hard position and like this is their only move, or if they're just doing it strategically. So it works out. And then the most fun, I would say, is towards the end once the game like started coming together, and people were really enjoying it, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be. Um, that's definitely the most fun. It's very rewarding. So yeah, definitely keep fighting through the design process and playtesting to get to that.
I do like the way you've sort of via that playtesting found that brilliant way to only give bits of information out at all times via sort of that discarding opportunity, because otherwise maybe someone would exploit that. And it sounds like you've enjoyed watching others enjoy the game as part of that playtesting, which is really nice to hear. I assume that's where Brain Games would have come in, sort of at the end or partway through that playtesting. What was it like sort of working with them and that sort of working relationship between designer and publisher?
My relationship with Brain Games has been awesome. They've been awesome. Communication has been super quick. They've been open about everything. The contract has been super fair, very protective of me and my rights, which is something I didn't expect. I wish they were closer. I wanted to just go and like be with them when they're working on my game. I just want to see it, but they're unfortunately in Europe, so it's a little bit harder for me to get there. But my game, I feel like perfectly fits what their company is looking for in games, if that makes sense. Because it's more lightweight and for families, and it doesn't have many components. And it seems like their games are structured around that as well. So it works great. And it's also inspired me to want to make more games and publish my own games. And so me and my friend actually have been trying to start our own publishing company called Millrat Studio. And we're kind of doing the same thing where we're looking for like lightweight games. We're trying to design lightweight games and get it going. So it's super early process, but yeah, they are amazing. Definitely recommend them. If anybody has a game that they're trying to publish, definitely go to them. That they're just super helpful and couldn't be better.
Well, the very best of luck for the future for your own publishing company. That sounds like it would be a lot of work to me. But what have you actually learnt from this experience that you'll sort of take forward from designing Deductio?
Um, what have I learned? I feel like I learned so much. I wouldn't be able to say it all in a few minutes. I definitely learned how to design a game and develop a game, but also small things like be better at Microsoft Excel for making spreadsheets about cards and how to organize things, using programs like Tabletop Simulator, Tabletopia, ScreenTop.gg, and PlayingCards.io. Um, I've gotten better at Photoshop, but mostly learning how to like work well with others, if that makes sense, because you have to do so much playtesting. You don't want to like obviously ruffle any feathers, and everyone's so nice, so it's just so easy to like get along with everybody when you're playtesting and you're just playing games. So like it honed my communication skills, I guess, even more so, which I didn't expect. But I guess a main thing that I really learned was how to take um, advice and criticism and know what type of advice I'm looking for and what type of advice to not ignore but just like keep on the back burner. Because I write everything in my notes, whether it's good, bad, I want it, I don't want it. That way I can just always look back and like figure out the patterns that everyone's kind of giving me, and then go forward and adjust the game, then playtest again. So I guess playtesting as a whole uh, is my overall answer. And I've been trying to make sure to ask specific questions before and after, rather than just like, is this game good or not? But yeah, I could go on and on.
It sounds like you've learnt plenty of different programs. That's maybe something a budding designer could take on board, that you're going to need to know at least some of those programs to help in the process. But where can people find out a little bit more about Deductio?
So you can obviously find Brain Games at Essen Spiel. It's going to be at the Brain Games booth, Hall 2. I believe it's booth like B2148. Definitely check it out. It's only going to be sold there as of now. So if you want a copy, go there. It's coming out spring of 2024. So it's not going to be sold online until then. But you can read all about it and look at some photos that are up, and I can answer questions if anybody has any questions on bgg.com. There's a whole Deductio page. And Brain Games is in the process of creating a marketing uh, campaign, I guess, for it, or just taking some more photos and more videos to upload. So as of now, it's bare when it comes to photos and videos, but stay tuned. More coming, I promise. So yeah, check it out online. Check it out at Essen.
So very much Deductio will be one of those Spiel Essen early releases. It's not coming out till next year if you're not going to be getting it at the convention. But a little bit of a bonus sort of fun question for you. What would you like to see at Spiel this year?
Bonus question. What I recently did a playtest with Gene Mackles, who was the creator of Iota and Splurt. He creates a lot of like really good small like party games that are really really fun. And he tested a new game um, called What Was I Thinking, and it's so much fun. I think he's trying to come out with it soon. I would love to see it at Essen, but he's such a nice guy, and any and all of his games should be played at all times. So definitely check it out. because he lives right here in Boston. So hopefully I can play test with him more. But yeah, I would love to see any and all of his games at Essen. It's a very vague answer, I know, but that's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
So there you have it, a little bit about Deductio and the design process behind it, and just time to say thanks and goodbye to Nick.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great. Thanks, Oliver. Hopefully you'll see you soon.
Of course, I'll put some links in the description box below so you can find out a little bit more about the game, and until next time, there's other stuff about Spiel on the channel, so go and watch them! Because there's other designer interviews, there's also me going through all of the games that are going to be on show there. Go check that out, subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, have a great day gaming.